Hey guys, and welcome to an Arknights Operator's Mediocre guide featuring Goldenglow, otherwise known as Pink Korone. There's a sort of resemblance going on, and yes, I am fully aware Goldenglow is a cat. I mean, it's on the Elite 2 art, but that will not stop me from sprinkling in Korone references nonetheless. We've done Mizuki, now it's Goldenglow's turn, who is our 6-star representation of the Mecha Court caster. Possesses noticeably low attack, but in exchange has a little drone buddy that locks on the target and acts like a second hit, as you can see in the slowed down footage. While the operator's damage is static, not changing outside of buffs, the drone's damage will start low and gradually increase the more times the same enemy is attacked, resetting when Goldenglow moves on to another. When the drones are let loose, as denoted by the skill descriptions, the drone will continue attacking its enemy even when they walk outside of the pink cat's attack range for as long as the skill is active. This first talent will really make your enemies eat Mike Tyson's ass. The drone's really getting in there and detonating, doing big bursty damage in a small area at a 1 in 10 chance. For the exploding to happen, the drones must be in its release state, so the stuff will only happen when Goldenglow's skill is active. It's also a way for the active drones to change their target because once they blow up, they go back to the operator for its new one. If you didn't feel that the pink cat was doing enough damage, the second talent should fix that right up because she just flat out ignores some amount of arts resistance. Free extra damage for all the different numbers of hits she'll be doing with all the drones. Not much else to really say here. Plushy transition! Skill 1, you know what, I haven't done a bad song parody since the Rosemontes guide. Why not? Welp, brace yourselves. 2 drones attack stat buff, go quicker forward before trigger more killer talent blows. Your better core skill in scoring decent damage here, poor skill in 4 troublesome enemies will disperse the first targets who are in range. Why not activate it when you want? I kinda regret doing that. The static cat's second skill increases attack by up to 60%, expands her attack range sideways, and grants an extra drone for a total of 2. Of course the drones will be let loose during the skill duration, which is the brief time of infinite. As with many infinite duration skills, once it's online, you really don't need to think about it. But until then, you're stuck with essentially a skillless Goldenglow plinking away until the 70 SP mark, which may feel longer than it actually is because no skill equals no damage talent detonations and no big damage. Though once it is up, you'll get a large consistency boost, well, as consistent as a 10% explosion chance will give. The longer the map lasts for, the more likely you're going to get your mileage out from using this skill. So, what kind of a cool 6-star skill 3 did our Cinnamon Roll receive? One that gives her global attack range. Though Goldenglow herself stops attacking, her released drones don't. Equipped with a total of 3 of them and a decent attack boost, the drones seek out enemies on the map, hitting as they would, inflicting a short slow each time. Well, this is it, the skill that makes Goldenglow a very tempting pick for many doctors out there. A skill so absurd it makes your enemies go,
"Oh, I'm a guy. Thank you, whoever."
"What?" Who doesn't love sitting back and watching enemies from across the map spontaneously combust? A major use of the skill is to indeed hit enemies where your other operators can't for damage, but it doesn't mean that you should fire off this skill wherever possible, unless you just want to poke damage out. Since there is no restriction on the range, the natural target for Goldenglow's drones will be how most other operators prioritize attacks, the enemies closest to your blue boxes. In most cases, it's probably what you want anyways, but if you want Goldenglow to go for a high priority target in the distance, or one that recently appeared, you do need to be aware of other enemies that might be around. How much of skill 3's duration will be spent clearing up other enemies before getting to the ones you intend for? Not to mention when the drones explode on the correct target only to retarget to a different enemy. Just something to keep in mind as you're using skill 3. So, how do we use Goldenglow? This operator deals a good amount of damage, but you've got to know the right times to utilize her. The safe option is usually going to be defaulting to skill 3, don't worry about it, I do that too. The skill's global range is immensely valuable. But when should you use the other skills? What reason do you have when you've got map-wide drone explosions? Skill 2 is a straightforward enough reason. Consistency, if you can get past the hurdle of getting it activated to begin with. For skill 1, though niche, if you're in need of burst clearing in a specific area, this skill is here for you. Personally, I use an AFEL as skill 2 for that role, but you may not have that or something similar, so it's not a terrible skill. We've been through some very underwhelming skill 1s in this guide series. A note regarding the drone exploding talent, I would rely on it for great overall damage, but I would not rely on it for doing big damage at a particular moment. Due to the RNG nature of the explosions triggering, you may come across situations where you could have used just one more detonation setting off at a certain point. For example, an enemy slipping past, but it may not happen. Though with all the drones items flying around helping with that low proc chance, you can count on at least a high total damage happening at some point, if that makes sense. One more thing I'll add about skill 3, because of its global range, your positioning with the Not Doggo is a lot more flexible, for those cases where good high ground spots are more limited. Finally, here are the Pink Cat stats, potentials, trust bonus, base skill, and my own E270 M6 Pink Cat, with all the involuntary electrical discharges you could request against the people looking up, specific images of this absolutely precious bean. And that was the Goldenglow guide. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day.